Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you are doing good. We're back with another live stream tonight, as always. Hopefully all the chat start coming through as y'all type, but go ahead and pull up a few of the folks that were sitting in here beforehand. Looks like we had Ken come in with the first comment today saying, "Hey Spencer, love the content, bro. I was recently approved for the 185,000 point Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant bonus and just approved last night for the Amex Platinum 175,000 point bonus." That's a lot of points right there. So congrats on that. Also, of course, a lot of spend required for that and annual fee. But it's great to hear that you got to lock those in. So congrats on that. Good topic for this video for sure. Let me make sure this chat is working. Can everybody hear me all right? Just make sure real quick. There we go. Got Tyler Grayson here. Awesome. One of the channel members here. Yep, he can hear me. Perfect. What is up to you, man? Hope you're doing well. Good midweek check in with everybody. Make sure everybody's doing okay. Ahmad was in here early as well. I'm not sure what effect I have, but I got an effect apparently. Neely saying having pizza delivered just so I can watch the stream. That's awesome. Hopefully that's a Grubhub or Uber Eats credit right there. That'd make my day. Let's see who else we got in here today. Demon Master. Hello, everybody. Matt Clausen, longtime channel member. Over 2 years now, I believe. That is crazy. What's up, Matt? Ken here. Oh, yeah. Ken already commented. Ahmad again. Micah, welcome in today. Calder asking, what's my reaction to the Cowboys' loss? I mean, I'm 25 and I haven't seen the Cowboys ever be good, so it's no surprise to me. Kind of funny to see Rico Dowdle go off against us, but I mean, I guess if you're going to root for anybody on the Panthers as a Cowboys fan, you got to root for the previous Cowboy. What's going on, Ralph? Oh, Dalton, nice. Got your priority pass select card today. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I've read that you really don't need that at all. I think I've only been asked for it like once, and I don't even know if I was asked for it or if I just showed it to them preemptively. But nice. Which card was that on? Neely saying I used it earlier this week, talking about the Grubhub or Uber Eats credit. But I'm on a work trip, so it's comped. Don't worry. Perfect. Wish I could get some stuff comped. That sounds nice. Sergio, what's up? Matt said, doing my thing, trying to figure out my next video. Such is life. Maybe a Marriott related video. I'm always down for some more Marriott related videos. JCC, finally get to catch a live stream. Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad we got to have you in. Oh, Dalton, your priority pass was with the Ritz. Nice. Isaiah saying good evening. See, Ahmad, that's what we need right here. Everyone make sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Ahmad. So kind. It's a good reminder for the people watching the VOD too. Check if you're subscribed. Steven, what's going on? Matt saying here to see if Hilton has one free night sub or City Premier updated sub. I'll tell you right now, no, they do not. But they do have some elevated offers, not on the City Premier, but the Hilton cards have elevated offers right now, just not including a free night. But yeah, I got to follow that roadmap, right? Caller saying I always get asked for the priority pass card, but I use the card saved in my mobile wallet. Yeah, that also works too. What is up, Dem? Mike asking if I could do a rundown of the Capital One Saver. I just got it and don't know much about it. Well, the Saver, I mean, that's going to be 3x back on a lot of daily categories. It doesn't have anything crazy with it. So if it's your only card, you're going to use it, for everything. But if not, it's going to give you 3x back on your groceries, your dining, and I'll just pull it up for you so you can see it all. Like I said, there's really not much going on with this one that's too crazy to track. So it's actually what we're going to talk about in the video because it has a limited time offer on it. But you can see no annual fee, 3% back on grocery stores, dining, entertainment, and popular streaming services. 5% through their portal, 1% everything else. So really just using it for those 3x purchases mainly. That's what most people do. Of course, Capital One card, so no foreign transaction fees, but overall, it's pretty straightforward. Mod saying the AA business card has rejected me for a year straight. I'm 012 and 524. Geez, that's tough. I guess you can't be 012 if they're pulling you over the course of this past year, but that's really annoying. I actually had somebody else reach out to me through DMs talking about how they've been denied for multiple city cards recently too over the past year. So seems like they tightened down on some cards for sure, but maybe like, the Strata Elite, since it's a newer card, they might be a little bit more lenient on that one. But they also had that whole debacle with like, what were they doing with the City Strata Elite? They were like having people fill out forms after the fact, like proving their finances and all this crap, like just because, I don't honestly even know why, but I think they fixed that. Chevy saying, hey, Spencer and everybody, I'm listening on the drive home from work. Well, thank you for being here nonetheless, and definitely don't watch while you're driving, but I'm glad that you can listen. Dalton said the trip I took using my Ritz was actually really nice. Even with only gold status, they upgraded me to a suite for free just because I was using the Ritz card. See, I had a very similar experience with the Ritz card in Italy whenever we stayed in Florence, like we talked about in a live last week. Yeah, very easy value add for me. They upgraded the room, even with just Marriott Gold. And yeah, they treated us really well there. And I think it was in part because of that Ritz card. If I had no status or anything, they wouldn't have done as much. Tyler saying Saver offers Hertz 5-star status as well as a nice bonus. Good to know. Good to know. Sergio saying I applied for the Sapphire Preferred and got denied. So I remembered you said to call the reconsideration line, and I did the next day and got approved. That's awesome. Congrats on that. Jack saying I'm disappointed with the Built Card singular mortgage partner they announced. Yeah, I haven't done a ton of research into it yet, but I did see that it seemed to be just one company. I don't know if that's like that can't be their end goal here. I'm not sure exactly what the end goal is. And obviously they want people to like fill out surveys and stuff since it's not officially out yet, and it'll happen in February. So maybe they'll get enough, pushback to just do something a little different, but we'll see. Xavier, another channel member, thank you so much, saying, what's up, y'all from College Station? Yikes. Hey, at least y'all have a good football team this year. Can't wait for February and the Built update. And no, I can't even say that last part. Sorry, that's sinful. But yeah, funny y'all both just talked about Built back to back. Caller just downgraded $490 worth of annual fees with more planned soon. Nice. I think this is a good year for like kind of cutting back on things where needed. I think a lot of people got a good wake up call with the refreshes to the Platinum and Reserve, and they just want to kind of like chill out for a bit, and that makes a lot of sense. Christian saying, Built denied me, said I didn't have any balances and too many cards open in the last 6 months. I opened 2. Yeah, Built is inquiry sensitive as well, similar to City in a lot of ways, where they just, same. What you just said here is like sometimes they are just really picky about it. A lot of people get denied even though they have great credit profiles. And I will say that what this says here, that you don't have any balances, don't ever carry a balance on a credit card. That's not what they want you to do. I think it's probably more that you're just not using the credit that other companies have allotted you. And maybe that's why they just say like, oh, he doesn't need more credit access, we're not going to give it to him kind of thing. But don't take that as like now I need to start paying interest on my cards. Never do that. Byron saying, whoa, what happened? No video? Oh, brother, we've got videos going out all the time. Out on Monday. Unless my video cut out, but I don't think it did. Howdy, Alan, another channel member. Look at y'all coming in clutch. Thank you for being here. Well, before we get too lost and sidetracked, we've already been talking for about 9-10 minutes. I want to just start with what we wanted to talk about here in the first place, what this video or this live stream is packaged around, and that is the best just sign up bonuses going on right now in the credit card world. And I was really surprised. I kind of am always trying to just think of what I want to talk about in these lives and make sure we have some kind of guidance going through these. And I've been debating, adding a couple of cards to my setup. You may have seen a members only video get uploaded recently. If you're a channel member, that was basically me asking y'all to help me kind of decide between a few bonuses and just see what y'all would do. I think it's always fun to talk about that kind of stuff. So this was kind of like the impetus for me, even like looking into the welcome offers. And then the more I did, the more I was like, we actually have a ton of welcome offers out right now. And I'm curious to see what all of y'all are doing because of that. And yeah, today I have a list of, I think it's actually a list of 30 credit cards with elevated offers that I think are worth considering. Some are more worth considering than others, but we'll kind of walk through really as many as we can get through. And of course, links below in the description if y'all are curious to learn more. And if you apply through those links, you support me, no additional cost to you, and get the highest public welcome offer. So I really appreciate y'all doing that. It's literally one of the only ways I can continue making content, full time like this. So thank you. But yeah, I think just naturally the best place to start will be through a screen share here. And I mean, it's very obvious where we're going to start, right? We got to start with the Chase Inc. Cash and Chase Inc. Unlimited credit cards. I know y'all are probably tired of hearing about these cards to a degree, just because it's something that we always cover in these videos. And I've covered them a lot in my wallet audit series too, but that's because they are just so powerful for what they are. So obviously right now, if you haven't heard, the Inc. Cash and Unlimited both are offering 90,000 points after spending $6,000 in 3 months. That's huge. I would lock that in. I just had a buddy text me today asking about what card offer to go for. I know that he uses his Chase points, so I said definitely consider going and grabbing the Inc. cards right now. He already has one of them, so he's going to get the other one, and that's a free 90,000 points for spend he was already going to be doing anyways. So I'm not going to drag on each of these cards too long, but if y'all have questions about specific cards, let me know. I will say both the Chase Inc. Cash and Unlimited are really just going to be added for their offers. I'm not, there's not really anything else I would apply for them for in my position. Maybe some of y'all could use them for some daily spend. But for the most part, I'm not really using these cards for anything but the offer. In order for me to earn 90,000 points from these categories, I would have to spend on them for years. I don't even know if I could ever hit it, honestly, with all the other cards I have. So that's where these offers are really clutch. Anybody go for these yet? I think these are, some of the best out there right now. So I'm just considering, some of y'all might have already applied. So what are you thinking? Awesome. Byron saying, got the Unlimited 4 weeks ago. How long to wait to get the business cash? Oof, that's tough. There's not necessarily a specific timeline on it. They do have let's see. They do have a strict rule on how quickly you can apply for 2 cards in a row. That's the 2 in 30-day rule. And look, we'll go ahead and use Sebi's website here so I can show you all this rule. The 230 rule is what you're mostly worried about. Sounds like you're 4 weeks along, Byron, but still, for anybody else that's thinking about this, you can only apply for 2 Chase cards every 30 days. You're automatically going to get denied. So keep that in mind. But I would say waiting after that 30-day mark, it doesn't really make a difference if you wait 31 days versus 37 versus 50. It's kind of all going to be a little bit quick unless you wait 3 months. But then at that point, we're getting into the territory where these offers might not even be around. So definitely consider that. Oh, Byron, I guess greetings to you too. I didn't even see that earlier message. Kind of just scrolling through here before we move on to the next cards. Ooh, Isaiah saying, working on a 75,000 point Amex membership reward, 70,000 Amex membership reward point Blue Business Plus offer for 6K spend in 4 months. That's great. That's a really solid offer. I didn't get one like that. Whenever I applied, I only got 15K for 3K spend. I would much rather have that one. Is that a no lifetime language? Is that a Doctor of Credit article? Where did you get that offer? Maybe a mailer. Probably a mailer, honestly. Chad's Money Minutes. Welcome in, dude. That gold badge looks so sick. I love it. Dem said working on a Biz Gold 175,000 membership reward point offer currently, which is targeted for 250K on the business plat. That's awesome. I got targeted for an offer on the business plat as well. I'll show y'all. So I'm trying not to dox myself here. Give me a second. Check out my back. Yeah, this is the offer that I got. This is the offer that I got right here in the mail, which is an interesting one. 120,000 points after 10,000 spend in 3 months. So that's effectively the same return on spend as that 250K one, since that's for $20,000 worth of spend in 3 months. I had never seen an offer like this where they reduce the amount of spend required by that much. And funny enough, that might be the only way I could ever get this card these days, because I mean, this business that I have, or just my normal life, I'm never spending $20,000 in 3 months. The only reason I even had anywhere close to that last year, whenever I applied for those 3 cards back to back to back on the same day, was because I wasn't paying quarterly estimated taxes the year before, which I had to pay a penalty for. So it all stacked up on one payment or 1 month. But this year I've been paying quarterly, so my tax bill this year is going to basically be non-existent in April. So it's like, yeah, maybe a few grand or whatever, but it's not going to be enough to cover 20K. But that offer is great if you can get it, that 250K you're talking about. Would y'all consider taking that 120K one that I just mentioned on the Business Platinum? I'm curious because it is one that I'm like, I mean, I kind of want the plat at some point. And yeah, it has a spinning requirement I can get. I don't know. It's something I'm thinking about. Ooh, Points with Philip is in here. What is up, Philip? Thank you for joining today. Now I see why everybody's talking about what's up they're getting. Nice. You're working on 2 at the moment, the Mesa and Hilton Honors. Sweet. Did you get, I assume, the new Hilton Honors bonus with 100K points? That is one that I wanted to cover today, but I'm going to keep moving in a normal pace here. What I'm actually going to do while we're chatting here is just pull up. I might just actually show y'all this screen instead for now, because me going to search for every single one of these cards is going to be really brutal. So I made this notes page earlier. I think it might just be easier to use that. Chad saying, just got back to Florida, flight 118 for the year so far. Jeez, man, that's insane. Where were you at this time? Another work trip? Matt saying, I've been meaning to cancel my Ink Unlimited and try again. It's possible, but I know that, you know, it's getting harder and harder to get the Ink card. So love to hear your data point if you ended up doing that. Barton, thank you so much for the kind words here. Rodney, welcome in as well. Mike, a great question. Are you allowed to combine Chase Ultimate Rewards from business cards to your personal cards? Yes. Yes, that's a big level up. So it's like, you know, for me, I've gotten both the Chase Ink Cash. Actually, I've gotten all 4 of the Ink cards: Ink Cash, Unlimited, Preferred, and Premier. All but the Premier were able to transfer to my Sapphire Reserve, which then I transferred out to partners. So that combined with all the points I've earned on my Reserve and all my Freedom cards, yeah, it's a lot of points that you can just combine together and use over the course of the next however long. Isaiah, yeah, I did see the Citi American Airlines 80K offer. I don't have that one on my list, so I'll go ahead and pull that one up real quick. Forgot about that one. Oh, wait, where is it? Is it Doctor of Credit thing? Yeah, here it is. I saw this pop up somewhere the other day. It's for 80,000 miles after $1,000 worth of spend in 3 months, which is pretty crazy. Like, that's a great offer. They just had 80K for, I think, 4K in spend. So for whatever reason, they're offering this targeted one, I guess. I guess it was 80,000 for 3,500 earlier, but still, that's a crazy offer. Alex saying, got it like a month ago right after the personal with 5x on gas and groceries. Awesome. Yeah, getting one of those Ink cards in combination with the Freedom is great. Now you just, I'm assuming, don't have a Sapphire card yet or the Ink Preferred, but that'd be the next up on the list, I'm sure, to get that transfer partner access with Chase and get those points out to their partners. Tyler saying, just got the Hilton Honors card in August and can easily be approved for the Surpass. Should I go for it? Trying to stock points for future travel. Well, that's one of the cards on my list here. So I'll go ahead and pull it up. Basically, this might be the best way to do it also. Like I'll show the list here in a second too, but as y'all mentioned cards, I'll bring them up. And then kind of check them off the list as we go. The Surpass right now has a limited time offer of 155,000 points after spending. Trying to get this in a place where y'all can actually see it. The Surpass has an offer for 155,000 points after spending $3,000 in the first 6 months. In my notes here, I mention how Hilton Surpass. So that offer ends on January 14th. So you have plenty of time to consider that one if you want to wait it out a little bit longer, which is a good thing. So Tyler, consider that. This is the best offer, or the best offer ever was 130,000 plus a free night award for the same spend. So that's something to think about too, is like if you do wait, which I think about April is what Woodsy told me, is when he got a free night award offer on the Hilton cards in the past. So if you wanted to wait that long and you didn't have a plan for those points, you might be able to grab slightly lower point amounts, but a free night award. Something to consider. While we're here, we can talk about the Hilton Aspire and Honors too, since people have been bringing that up. The Hilton Honors that Philip mentioned he has is currently offering 100,000 points after $2,000 worth of spend in 6 months. Ends on the same date. And we recently saw the same 100K points plus $100 credit offered. So maybe that's one that Philip got. I would have to check in on that again. I don't see another message from him, but regardless, that was one of them. And then we also saw one for 70,000 points and a free night award. So it's kind of up to you which path you go there. Show you here. No, whatever. We'll leave that alone for now. Yeah, which one of those you choose to go for is kind of up to you and depends on your travel habits. Ooh, Kenneth saying just finished Hilton Business sub for 175K. That was another one on the list today. While you're talking about that, you can see down here there's an offer right now for the Hilton Business of 175,000 points after $8,000 spent in 6 months. In my notes, I have that it's 45,000 more points than the standard offer, but $2,000 more in spend. So something to note. And then also remember that the past offers have had free nights associated with them. At least I believe so on the Hilton Business. I was going to fact check that, but regardless, 175,000 points is an offer that I was considering. So in that video that I mentioned that I gave out to the members recently, I was asking if that was a card that they think I should go for, because I don't have Hilton Gold status yet. I don't have the Platinum, so that's the only other way I would get it right now. I don't have any Hilton Honors points. If I applied for this card, the Hilton Business, I would be not adding to my personal credit report at all, not even with a hard inquiry, because Amex business cards or Amex cards in general, if you are approved and you're an existing customer, then you don't get hard pulls. So that'd be great. And yeah, I don't know. It's a card to consider for sure right now for those of y'all that are into the business stuff. I wouldn't really use it for any spend, even though it has some good earning categories. I would try to get value back from the statement credits, but I'd have to discount that. The card does have a $195 annual fee. Where is that at? Right here. So it probably would be a card I canceled in year 2. Also, the good thing about going for the business one with Hilton, besides the other ones that we were showing, is that like these 3 right here, the Hilton Aspire, Surpass, and Honors cards, all of these personal cards, theoretically, at some point will have family language restrictions added to them. At least that's how I have been operating under the assumption of. And if that was to happen, the business card wouldn't impact my ability to get the offers on the personal cards. So that's another reason why I'm kind of leaning towards going the business route before these other 2 or other 3. Yeah, the Hilton Aspire has actually like the same offer, basically 175K, but for only 6K spend in 6 months. You can see that it's not the best offer ever points wise, and it doesn't have a free night associated with it, but it still could be worth going for. Mike asking, has Chase said when the ink elevated offers will end? No, they have not. Ooh, Dim saying I was bait and switch on the Blue Business Plus, had a 75,000 point offer in my app. Finally was going to apply and they switched it to 50K. Yikes. Yeah, that sucks. I have a buddy, funny enough, a different buddy that I was talking about earlier, that recently got a targeted offer in his Amex app for 175,000 points on the Platinum. He tried to like go through other methods as well. Like he checked their website. It wasn't giving it to him. My links weren't giving it to him. And then he lost it in the app. Same thing that happened with you. So that's why he was checking the other links too. And then after refreshing it for a couple of days, it finally came back. So he got lucky there, but it could be worth checking in on like once a day. Demon Master saying, if the welcome offer spinning requirements on a card are too high for you, is it a good idea to get another card from the same issuer? They lower spinning requirement offer than product change. This is a good question for this topic that we're talking about today. Product changing these days is not necessarily the best idea. The situation you're talking about here is very specific. If you can't reach a minimum spinning requirement naturally, just don't apply for the card, of course. That'd be wasting money if you did that. You could consider applying for the lower tier one and upgrading, like you said. But the downside in doing that, with a lot of lenders these days, like if you were going from a Freedom card to a Sapphire card, or from a like an Amex Gold to an Amex Plat, like something like that, if you're doing that kind of route, a lot of times with the family language restrictions and the once in a lifetime welcome offer rules combined that like Chase and Amex have specifically, you are going to miss out on the welcome offer on those cards that you're product changing to theoretically indefinitely. Like you might not ever be able to get the offer on it. So I usually don't recommend doing that. Same goes with other lenders too. Like if you got like the Capital One, well, I guess they're all the same spinning requirements. That's a bad example, but theoretically product changing it takes away your ability to get the offer on that card, at least while you hold it. So I just don't recommend it. But if you really, really wanted to hire to your card and you for some reason can't hit the spinning requirement for that one, then it could technically make sense. I just don't think I would personally do that. Nice, Byron. Got my wife the City AA 75,000 miles, only $1,000 worth of spend. That's a hefty spinning requirement for the Business Plat. Yeah, the Business Platinum has massive spinning requirements. Sorry about that. Cracking my Zevia here. Creamy root beer. Stuff is gas. Wish I was sponsored. Whatever. Isaiah said 75,000 no lifetime language offer. Found on Frequent Miler blog. I might need to go for a second one. Yeah, Chad, it's a good point. Talking about that Business Platinum I mentioned earlier. He's saying he wouldn't go for it with 300,000 point offers roaming in the wild. QC Man was asking, would I get more value from the Business Plat credits or the Business Plat? Let me get a refresh on what the Business Platinum is offering differently now since the refresh. Double refresh in there. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, the Business Platinum doesn't really have like a ton, I guess. I haven't really looked into it too heavily yet. I mean, it's like these credits with Dell and stuff are so weird. Statement credits, yeah. Get $1,000 back after spending 5,000 at Dell. The Adobe credit doesn't work. Well, it does work. I guess maybe now it's easier to use than last time or before the refresh. I'm not sure. Wireless credit could be, I guess, useful. Yeah, I would definitely get more value from the personal platinum. So that's a good point too. You can see like, I mean, 200K points sitting right here. There's up to 300K like Chad was saying. So I wouldn't want to just take a lower one, but it's a spinning requirement that's tough. So since the offer I mentioned has lower spending requirement, same return on spend percentage wise, it could be something to consider. But Gian, I'm asking, do I recommend the Strata Premier over the Strata Elite? That's another card that I have on my list. So let's go ahead and talk about them. So you're asking specifically between the two cards, which one I recommend. I mean, I think it's pretty clear that for 99% of people, the Strata Premier is the better card, just because it's lower annual fee, easier value proposition. The welcome offer is not elevated right now, so that's not part of that conversation. But you can earn, a base of up to usually like 75,000 points for 4,000 worth of spend. But yeah, the annual hotel benefit is something, I guess, but you have to spend $500 or more in their portal to get that $100 off, so not really worth it. What we mainly want from the City Strata Elite is going to be the transfer partner access it provides, as well as these earning categories. So for most people, this is the better card. The 3x earning categories on basically all travel, restaurants, supermarkets, gas, and EV charging. Like that covers all your daily spend pretty much. But the City Strata Elite does have a limited time offer on it right now, technically, of 100,000 points plus, or 100,000 points flat for $6,000 worth of spend in 3 months. So that's one of those situations where maybe you would consider getting the Strata Elite for a year and then downgrading it to a different card. I'd probably recommend the Custom Cash instead of the Strata Premier, since you can get a welcome offer on the Premier, at some point. And like you see down here, I'll zoom in really far. This is the downside of doing what we were talking about earlier, is that bonus thank you points are not available if you've received a new account bonus for the Elite in the past 48 months, or if you converted another Citi credit card account in which you have earned a new account bonus in the last 48 months into a Strata Elite. So if you got this card, or if you got the Strata Premier first and then upgraded to this one, even though you never got the welcome offer on it, you would lock yourself out of the welcome offer for 4 years. So see, like that's where those rules start to get really tricky. Hold up now. I just saw something in the chat. Xavier with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. That's so awesome. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you're enjoying tonight's live. We're kind of just casually going through all these welcome offers that are really solid right now. And if y'all have any thoughts about which ones you're looking at, definitely leave them below, and I'll get to all your comments over time. But thank you so much for that super chat. Xavier's been a big supporter of the channel, so that means a lot. Let's see, what else is people talking about? For some reason, the stream is way behind my real time. Like I'm looking at the stream on my left, and it is at least a minute behind. So just keep that in mind if y'all are watching. You're like, why is he not getting to these comments or these super chats? I'm getting to them. They're just not showing up as quickly as they should be. Mod said he would personally apply for it. Ooh, Dim said cream soda is my go-to Zevia. I got that one as well. The creamy root beer is really good too, though. One second, Josh. I'll get back to that. Oh, Jimmer's in here. Another channel member. Welcome in. QC Man with the super chat. Look at this train that Xavier just started. Thank you so much, QC. Saying, are you going for any of the welcome offers? Well, isn't that the age-old question here? I'll talk to y'all a little bit about like the ones that I'm targeting, kind of, or just like have in the back of my mind. But I did post that members only video, QC. I don't think you commented on that one, so maybe you haven't seen it yet. But you can see the 3 that I was initially considering before this live stream. QC man, let's go. Oh, nice chat in New York and DC. All for work. Nice. Alan asking, would you ever consider doing a mattress run for status? And if you did, what would be your limit? Probably not, honestly. I don't think it's like, unless I had like just a couple of nights that I was like really close to hitting it, then I would do that. But I think that's kind of a waste of money. Like status really isn't that valuable. I mean, you can get it for free on so many, not for free, but you can get it on so many cards that I don't think the status run is really worth it. Maybe like a Hyatt Globalist, like if you needed to lock it in for multiple years and they had one of those crazy like mattress run things going on that happened when they first released it, then I could see that being a justification. But I don't ever plan on doing that personally with the card options we have. Oh, Ken, thank you so much. Sending out a gifted memberships to people. Thank you for doing that, man. That means a lot. It's like Dim got that bonus there. So Dim, you got to thank Ken for that one. Thank you so much for doing that. I think that's so cool. Allowing people to just experience the membership. Ken, I guess, are you even a member yourself, actually? Look at this guy. Giving things out just out of the kindness of his heart. Caesar, welcome in. I appreciate you, dude. Getting closer and closer to the meetup. I guess it's only like, well, I guess 3 weeks away now. That's close though. Excited to see you, man. Thanks again, QC. That means so much. Okay, I'm scrolling back up a little bit here just so I can make sure I get everything here. Alex saying the reserve was his third card ever. Already have it for 2 years. Nice. Morgan saying, which would you apply for first? The Premium Select from the Advantage Premium Select. Wait, which one? Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the Executive? Or which one are we talking about here? The Platinum Select, I assume is what you maybe were talking about. It might. I mean, I'm not sure because since the Executive card, the $595 version, has a similar annual fee to the Strata Elite. That's what I'm maybe thinking you meant by that comment, Morgan. But I guess let me just answer your question on a broad scale here. If I was going to get an American Airlines card or the Strata Elite, which one would I get first? Whichever one I actually was going to use the benefits on consistently. So basically, whichever one is the keeper, I would get first. If both are keepers, then it's kind of like whichever one has a limited time offer on it, if either. Yeah, highest return on spend, basically. But always index on getting the card first that either has a limited time offer that's going to end before the other one, or will give you the benefits that you'll actually use long term, since you have a high likelihood of getting denied for the second one if you're going really quickly back to back. And yeah, so obviously you just want to lock in the one that you want more. It's like Gian was saying, Advantage for the lower spend and first year free, then Elite. If you're talking about the Advantage Platinum Select, not the Executive, then I would agree that offers higher return right now. And I mean, the lower spend doesn't necessarily matter. So it's kind of just, it really is up to your situation and which one you actually want to keep. Calder saying there's a 60K, no lifetime language, personal gold offer out there if I want to get back in. Not yet. QC Man asking, what card do I use for my quarterly taxes, or is it always going on a sub card? Whenever I'm not spending towards a sign up bonus, I'm just using, ACH for that bank drafts, because the 3% 3% fee or whatever it is, I don't want to be paying that without any reason to. So yeah. Steven saying, just got my player 2 approved for the Ink Unlimited while watching this live. That's awesome. Hopefully you referred her to it so you got some extra points. Student loans, VentureX still worth it if you have the Chase trifecta? It definitely can be if you value the lounge access and the benefits enough to offset the annual fee by itself. Having cards in multiple ecosystems is not a bad thing. It can be really good. But yeah, definitely just calculate that effective annual fee and see if it's really worth adding that, that card. Isaiah offering to add me as an authorized user on the Platinum for Hilton Gold. I appreciate that. I don't know if I want to be getting into that world and making y'all liable for me. Jimmer saying Amex Green 60K. That is an offer out there that I forgot to bring up too. What's going on here? There we go. Amex Green 60K. I think there's like a no lifetime language, or is it a normal offer? Yeah, I think it's like a no lifetime language or targeted offer on the green card because it's not popping up just on the normal website. Or I'm just not targeted. Could be a good offer too. 60K. Like we've never seen an elevated offer on the green, so that's pretty crazy that they even have one. Jerome, I think I might have missed the earlier parts of this conversation. Oh, never mind. Sorry. I'm looking at the Atmos card. 100K for 6K spin next, going all in on Atmos. Yep, that's another offer that I didn't have in here. There's literally so many good offers out right now. But yeah, that's I guess like a launch offer right here on the Summit card, the Atmos Summit. Yeah, offers in soon. 100K plus 25K companion awards. That's pretty solid. Yeah. Atmos reward points are great. And now the only transfer partner access that we have to Atmos is going to be from Built, which you can't earn a ton of points necessarily with Built very quickly. So getting their cards directly is a very smart method of earning points. Okay, I'm asking why I don't have the Platinum. The Sapphire Reserve is my luxury travel card of choice. It fits my lifestyle the best. So I don't really need to double up on that. But I do plan on getting it for the offer at some point. David saying, I want to get the US Bank triple cash $750 offer, but I wonder if the 120K offer on the Ink Preferred will come soon. I don't know. Maybe some of y'all remember better than me, but I don't remember when they elevated the offer on the Preferred after the Ink Cash and Unlimited had theirs, because it doesn't come at the same time. I mean, even 90,000 points on the Ink Cash and Unlimited would actually be worthwhile too, David. So it's kind of up to you, but yeah, I use US credit card guide sometimes to look up like welcome offer trends. Maybe we can check that out real quick, because every time I show somebody this in one of the consulting calls, it like blows their mind. If y'all haven't heard of US credit card guide, it's worth checking out. $2017, what the? Hold on a second. Maybe they don't have the Ink Preferred on here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I have this chart at the bottom of each page here showing you the history of the offers. So you can see we had 120K. It's tough to see exactly when that was unless they put it up here. Recent best offers 120. Yeah, I don't see an exact date on this one down here, but you can assume that that was roughly in the middle of the year of 2024, and we haven't even seen it in 2025, so that's a tough one. It might not come around for a while, or it's literally going to come up right after you apply. Probably. That's how it always works. Jarvis asking, did I hear that Chase lost Emirates? I don't remember if I have, honestly. Let me look. I guess this was your upgraded points posted something about it. We can look at this together real quick. When the clock turns October 15 to 16, so tonight, Chase Ultimate Rewards members will lose the ability to transfer to Emirates. So I did not hear about it being exactly this date, so thank you for bringing that up, Jarvis. Anybody that's looking to book with Emirates and only has Chase points, consider doing that now. Let me see if... I'm going to have to update this spreadsheet that we've been working on. I want to show you all this cool page on it that I think is pretty helpful. Let me see. So now out of the major airlines, I'm going to remove your chat real quick, Jarvis. The major, transferable currencies, which again, I'm going to have to remove this now. Emirates is down here. Get rid of that. Out of all the lenders, we basically have no competitive rate really from Amex unless there's a transfer bonus, because you're only getting 1,000 to 800 points. So Capital One, Citi, and Built are really where you're going to be wanting to transfer. to Emirates from, or sorry, City has a bad redemption rate too. Unless I messed that up because I just entered these. But I use Capital One miles, I think, for my Emirates flight to Italy. And yeah, so it's going to be kind of up to your specific setup. But yeah, unfortunate to have Chase lose a partnership like that. They're really crapping the bed right now. "22 days until the meetup, Xavier." That's so clutch. Caesar, I can't wait either. I actually have been talking about too. I'm going to post a poll tomorrow in the community feed. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications on and all of that. I'm posting a poll tomorrow to just gauge interest on a Austin meetup. And basically, yeah, I want to really start connecting with y'all more in person in general. I know we have the big meetup with Caesar here on November 8th in Puerto Rico, which I'm going to, but also would like to connect with y'all like closer to home too. So maybe starting with one in Austin and then kind of just like branching out from there. I don't know about the size or location or anything like that right now, but I think it'd be cool to just gauge interest and just see what we could make happen. Flaming Leopard, what cards do you recommend for somebody going into college? The Saver Reward Student is one of the top ones in my mind. If you need a student credit card specifically, it covers you at those 3x rates that we talked about earlier, those being groceries, dining, streaming, and entertainment. Great card. The Discover It Cashback is always a good starter card if you don't have one yet, especially with the 2x, just, I guess, multiplier on all of your points earned in the first year as part of their welcome offer. Chase Freedom Rise is a good one to get started with in the Chase ecosystem specifically. But yeah, I think earning categories wise, like starting off strong with the student saver card is pretty good, but everybody's situation is so different. So don't just like, I would consider like all of your travel habits and stuff like that and like start yourself off strong in an ecosystem that you think you'll use for a long time. There we go, Dim. Thank you for the membership. Oh, guys, I'm an idiot. I know why. I was saying earlier that I'm like way behind or whatever. Or my streaming is way behind. For some reason, it's my preview is just way behind. So we're actually good here. Y'all can hear me in real time. Perfect. No. I don't know what happened there. I don't know why I was missing it. Maybe I was accidentally pausing it or something. We're good though. Perfect, David. Get me back into the topic here at hand. Yes, the Delta cards all have elevated offers on them right now. So now is a good time to get those if you're interested. I'll go ahead and pull up my affiliate site again so y'all can see all the offers in one place. Remember, links below to everything that you might want, as always. Let's do... filter into the... Where are we at here? Delta. So yeah, let's see here. Let me zoom in, move me over. So the reserve card, obviously elevated offer, 125K points after 6K spend in 6 months. Based on my notes here, I think it matches the highest offer we've seen in a long time on this one. Let me just make sure. Oops, where is this at? Yeah, possibly even the highest offer ever. The Delta card offers, I'll go ahead and say this up front too. All of the Delta card offers end in 2 weeks. So if you're considering getting any Delta cards right now, do it now, basically. You can see the Delta Reserve has the highest points offer. And of course, it tiers down from there. But the Delta Gold is usually the sweet spot card that a lot of people like to go for. Do realize that if you get the Delta Gold, you will lock yourself out of the offer on the Delta Blue card if you haven't gotten it yet because of family language restrictions. But a lot of people will take that trade because the Delta Gold is just a better card. But basically all these match their limited time offers. So that's always a positive. Or sorry, matches previous limited time offers or highest offers ever, which is nice. So yeah, consider the personal and the business cards. Both of them are offering pretty good rewards. And also whenever I talk about family language, the same thing applies that I just mentioned with the Delta Gold to the Delta Reserve, even stronger. So if you went for the Delta Reserve first, like we were just looking at, if we went for this card first because it had the highest point offer on it, we would lock ourselves out of the welcome offer on the Delta Platinum, Delta Gold, and Delta Blue if we hadn't had any of those in the past, which is a big reason why you got to be careful with Amex applications specifically. So don't just go for the highest points offer, really weigh all of your options. But yeah, that was another big chunk of the cards I wanted to talk about today. So nice work on that. Talked about the Hilton cards too, all with elevated offers, no free nights associated, but some of the highest point earning availability we've seen with these. Marriott cards do have elevated offers on them right now too. I wanted to mention those as well. The Boundless has 125K plus a free night award up to 50,000 points for 3K spend in 3 months. That's pretty solid. However, whenever I applied, I got 5 free nights for 50,000 points each. It was $5,000 worth of spend, so you got to keep that in mind. So this offer is solid, basically an equivalent of 175K points for $3,000 worth of spend compared to 250K for 5K worth of spend. So that's kind of up to you. If you really wanted to get the card now, you could, but there have been better offers. The Marriott Bonvoy Bold, if you wanted to start that low in their ecosystem, this is a really solid offer on it right now just because it doubles the normal offer, only requires 1K spend. Business card is similar to the Boundless, where actually I think this offer is pretty bad, and this one ends in a week. It's 125K points after 8K spent in 6 months. It's really, honestly, really weak for an offer. The only positive about it is that it's a points offer, and usually the business and the Boundless have like 3 free night awards associated with their welcome offers, but this value is just really low for how much spend is required. So I'm going to probably try to hold out for another 5 free night award offer on that one. Uh-oh. Jordan rules for credit. So back. Hope you and everyone in here have been doing well. Dude, we gotta get on a call soon. This guy just got married. Went on a honeymoon, mini honeymoon, just living the dream over here. But yeah, I don't think you were in here, Jordan, but I just pulled up the spreadsheet a bit. Jordan's the one that's helping me with all this, guys, so he's a great dude. Yeah, Chase just lost Emirates, so I had to remove that from them. I did go through all these recently, just so you know, Jordan, and I updated them, so we should be all set here. But yeah, got a lot of tabs on the spreadsheet, a lot of cool things coming at some point. Jerome saying Marriott also transfers to Alaska, albeit at a weak rate. Yeah, I don't think I would ever trade for that right there. Monday, have you tried for the Robinhood Gold card since the Credit Karma hack came out? I haven't heard of that. So I'm assuming what happens is Credit Karma will say you're targeted for it and you can apply for it. I've not tried that. I might look into it. Gimme saying you like the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I feel like I can't use a lot of the perks. If that's how you feel and you can't use them, definitely don't get the card. For me, I've calculated my effective annual fee on the channel a few times. Oh, somebody got to tell me that the scroll ain't working. Come on, guys. The scroll's been broken for so long. There we go. Yeah, my Sapphire Reserve effective annual fee without considering the like lounge access, the platinum status with IHG, all that stuff is still my whole desk is still like negative $900 or something. So it works really well for me, but not for everybody. Nat, thank you for joining in on the drive home. I appreciate you. Be safe. Dim with that new channel member badge. Thank you for being in the membership now. Kudos to where did it go? I'm gonna pull it up again for you. Ken gifting the membership here to Dim. Now his messages pop out in the chat, so I see them immediately. Think I'm going to Garden and accumulate some MR points for a bit. 2026 trips are all booked, so I'm building for 27. Thank you. Point balance is healthy, so I'll stick with membership reward. Platinum, Blue Business Plus, Green, Business Gold, and Rackets and card for now. Yeah, it's a solid MR point lineup right there. Expensive, but solid. I'll revisit when an offer comes my way that wows me. Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at too. Oh, and hopefully the problems with viewing the stream have gone away. It looks like it's still working on my end. Micah, I got the Sapphire Preferred and Freedom Unlimited in branch and met both subs this month. Excited for my next card. That's awesome. Big bonuses there. Probably 100K and 20K plus 5% back on gas and groceries. What a crazy lineup. Oh, Matt's in here saying, a different Matt. We got a lot of Matts here, but saying yes, an Austin meetup. Yeah, Matt. I know you joined. Come on. Live right down the street from me. We got to do it. Spencer USA tour coming soon. Ken asking just for fun, what do you think of Dave Portnoy's 50 million membership rewards points? Yeah, I mean, he's never going to be able to redeem that many. You know, in my opinion, I'd recommend someone like him get the Charles Schwab Platinum and just cash those babies out, or at least a lot of them. I mean, he's literally sitting on like, what is 50 million points even? I don't even know. That's such a big number. Is that 500 grand? Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, if he cashed all those out, that'd be $550,000 in cash. So that's what I would do if I'm not traveling enough to use them. Matt saying I'm in Delta pop-up jail. Well, that's just Amex for you. Amex pop-up jail. QC man, am I remembering right that the Delta family language is only on the personal cards and not the business? Let me pull it up for you. I guess let's just go ahead and pull up the Delta Business Gold. Or we'll do about Delta Business. Yeah, Delta Business Gold works. This is how you can find the family language rules on any of the cards you're going for. You can see it's at the top here. Try to get it in a place where y'all can read it down here at the bottom. Okay, it says you may not be eligible to receive a welcome offer if you have or have had this card or previous versions of this card. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it doesn't say anything about family language there. And then looking at the personal gold instead, you'll see where that comes up. Right here. Yeah, so you can see right here that if you've had this card, the Delta Sky Miles Platinum, or the Reserve or previous versions of these cards, you might not be able to receive a welcome offer. So family language on the personal cards with Delta, no family language on the business. Always a good thing to note there. Steven asking, what should somebody's annual income be for the Amex Gold? Well, that's an interesting question. There's not really, I've seen a lot of videos out there made about like sorry, I got distracted. About people saying like these are the credit cards or whatever you should have based on your income. I just don't think that that's really, doesn't really make that much sense. That's all really about your spend. And then obviously if you're spending responsibly, you'll have an income that reflects that. But if you were to just try to justify the annual fee based on spend on the Forex categories, you'd want to be spending, what is that? $8,000 a year on your dining and your groceries, which is not that high technically. But of course you don't want to that's just to break even on the annual fee. So to really like make it worth it, you got to be spending a lot more than that, or just actually using the credits. So it's more about that than it is income. Jordan saying, appreciate you finally got the time to get this file out to everybody. Yeah, we need to get on it, man. We got to get on it at some point. I've been slacking on it. I've tried to get in it a little bit while you were gone to make you proud, but I've been really slacking. Demon saying, great, I just got a Credit One card commercial. Let's see. Will West saying, I'm backpacking Southeast Asia for 3 months. Wow, that's awesome. I have the Sapphire Preferred, Freedom Flex, and Venture X plus Saver. Flights are booked with their welcome offers. I want to get another card before I go. Any recommendations? You have the Venture X, which will kind of serve as like your Visa, catch-all card while you're abroad. Has lounge access you're probably going to need. No foreign transaction fees. The Saver card covers you on your dining, groceries, entertainment, streaming. Sapphire Preferred could be there for a secondary card, more for the transfer partner access like you've already used. Freedom Flex, you're not going to use at all because that's abroad and it has a 3% foreign transaction fee. So I'm just trying to think of what you don't have covered at this point. And really, you have most of it. Just because the Venture X gives you that flat 2x back. I mean, we're talking about so many cards here in this video or in this live stream that have elevated offers. So you could just look at some of these and just see if there were some that you wanted. Y'all feel free to like pause this if you want. We talked about the Chase Ink Cash and Unlimited. It's business cards, but I think it's very well worth considering that. I was going to mention that the Sapphire Preferred has a new standard offer, but that's not one that you're probably going to need right now. Platinum card up to 175k points. We've talked about that so much. Everybody's offer is different. It's a great offer. Forgot the Business Platinum's offering up to 300k targeted, so that's something to note. Yeah, City Strata Elite we covered. I was going to say maybe like the City Strata Premier for you, Will, could be something to consider, but you have all your earning categories covered. So really for you, as I scroll through this, I'll continue giving you a little bit of advice here. For somebody in Will's situation, whenever you are at a point where you don't necessarily know what card to go for next, especially if you're on like the travel side of the game, what I recommend you do is plan out your travel. If you have your travel planned out far enough, you'll know what like hotels and airlines you'll be using. And then you basically work backwards, get cards that either have transferable currency access to those partners or just directly get the hotel and airline cards themselves, right? But yeah, right now, I mean, we have so many offers. I forgot to list a lot of them on here. So we already talked about most of these, actually. There's a couple more I definitely want to touch on while we're here. Talked about the Delta cards, Hilton cards. Whoops. Yeah, Aeroplane card and British Airways card, not really much to write home about, but there's something there if you guys are about to book a flight with one of them. Delta cards we covered. United Gateway has a pretty small offer, but it's there. I think the business version also has an elevated offer, but it's not great either. The one that I really wanted to mention is for a lot of those folks that might be like me and you fly with Southwest and you want the companion pass. Right now, the performance business, pull it up for you. Whoops. It has an offer for 120k points after $10,000 worth of spend in 3 months. So that's a high spending requirement. But again, coming around like somewhat around at least quarterly taxes and stuff like that could be something to maybe consider getting. But here, I'll show you real quick. Basically, what this offer means, this 120,000 points here, is that you can get the companion pass with one card offer alone. So if you went and got this card, you hit the minimum spend on it, you're only going to be 10,000, or actually you get 10,000 points for holding a Southwest card. So you're going to literally get it just by hitting the spending requirement on this card, regardless. One note here that my affiliate partner mentioned that I wanted to make sure I wrote down for y'all too, that you should wait at least a week or two into October to apply. That way you don't, so basically right now, that way you can comfortably not finish the spend until January of next year. So since that offer has 3 months associated with it, we're in October right now. This is like companion pass season basically. And they gave you an offer on a Southwest card that will automatically get you the companion pass if you just hit the spending requirement, but you just can't hit the spending requirement until 2026. That way you lock in the companion pass for all of 2026 and all of 2027. If you hit it now, you will only get it for 2026 basically. Because the way it works is that you get companion pass for the rest of the year that you earn it, plus a full year after that. That's a cool one. Check back in on the chat real quick. John McKinstry. Oh, computer froze. Good evening. Just got done with work. I'll listen to the remainder of the stream on the ride home. Yeah, be safe out there, John. We got like 3 people already that mentioned they're listening on their drive home. So definitely be safe out there. And it sounds like a long day of work, depending on your time zone, of course. But I hope you had a good day. Monday, going back to that Robinhood Gold hack, saying, yeah, it was on Reddit. Lots of people have gotten off the wait list with a hack of if it shows up on your Credit Karma account or copying a link from Reddit and it'll take you right to it. Interesting. I don't know if it's worth doing or if they're going to like start shutting those cards down or what, but Cosmic saying, I found out today that I was in Amex pop-up jail. Tried to get the Amex Platinum 175,000 point offer. They're mad because I canceled the gold, I guess. So I applied for the Gemini card, earning Bitcoin as my gas card at 4%. Yeah, canceling any Amex card definitely is going to put you in bad graces with them. There's a lot of reasons you could get put in pop-up jail. That's one of them. Canceling a card is one of them. Not using their cards after a welcome offer is another. So that could also be part of it. But sounds like you pivoted quickly. The Gemini card is an interesting value prop for sure. They're doing a lot of marketing right now. They've asked to sponsor one of my videos before. Just so y'all know too, like I never take sponsors from companies that offer cards, just because I think that kind of ruins my credibility. Because then a lot of people will think that all my videos are sponsored by these card companies when they're not. These are all my personal opinions. So while I'll share sponsors that have tools and stuff that I really value, I won't do card sponsors. It's kind of a side tangent, but Gemini, every time I see them, I'm like, oh yeah, they're the ones with the big marketing pushes. Got billboards all around Austin with their cards and stuff. So Fevze saying, can you confirm your PayPal debit still gets 5% on groceries at Costco in store? Yeah, I don't know why everybody was so confused in one of my recent videos about me saying that it's a debit card, so it does work in Costco. They accept all major debit cards. Unless I can check again for you, like unless something literally changed within like 2 days, it's been working. But I'll show you right now just so you can see. Actually, I guess I haven't gone to Costco in a little bit longer than that, but yeah, you can see here. Sorry, I was trying to cover that up. Wait, did I block it? It doesn't have the actual. Okay, that doesn't show me anything crazy. Just confirming over and over that I'm not going to dox myself. You can see there on the bottom there, Costco, $125, 600 points. So, yeah. Ken saying I was in pop-up jail for almost 2 years. Brutal. Yeah, I think I might be there too. I honestly don't know. QC saying, wonder how much credit one is paying the NHL for their partnership. JCC, do Chase points from ink cards combine with personal accounts? Yes, you can combine them. It doesn't do it just like by itself, but you can do that. Thanks for answering that for him, Ahmad. Demon Master saying it'd be absolutely amazing if Chase would make the 3x online groceries, just all groceries. I agree. Wishful thinking, of course, but you could still use it for like curbside. I know that's how I order a decent amount of groceries curbside, and that works for online groceries, but I do agree. That's why it's good really right now to like consider, it's not one of the ones on my list, but to consider going for the Freedom cards in branch, because a lot of times they have the 20,000 points plus 5% on gas and groceries for a year. So yeah, definitely look into that if you're wanting some grocery coverage. Yes, Ralph, thank you for the reminder to everybody. Everybody's got to hit that thumbs up button. What are we doing? Derek, is City sensitive to recent inquiries? I want to apply for the Strata Premier, but I have 4 hard inquiries since August. Yes, they are inquiry sensitive. They're one of the most inquiry sensitive, unfortunately. You could always try it, but yeah, if you have 4 since August, there's probably a low likelihood that you get approved, but it's never impossible. Love when my whole live streaming tab on YouTube just crashes on me and I can't see y'all's chats. It's so fun. me get this back up for you. Where are we here? QC saying, so if Chase or Amex offers you $500K a year, you're saying no? Yeah, I mean, that's a question right there. Chase and Amex, can kind of suck it, to be honest, because a lot of people have been like seeing Stevie's posts about like all these channel updates where he can't mention Chase and Amex and all that stuff. They said the same thing to me. They said the same thing to everybody in our space that makes videos about them. What I've opted to do is not post the links in my description directly to any affiliate links, because you either had that option where I could either not use any card art, couldn't mention them by name, couldn't say Chase, couldn't say Amex, couldn't say any of that, which is just ridiculous. If I wanted to post my affiliate links, and I opted to go the opposite route and say, F it, I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about, and I just won't be able to get links directly to your cards in my description. And that's fine. So that's what we've been dealing with on the affiliate side of things. But if you ever want to support me, my newsletter, I send out emails that are non-branded, so I can actually give you the offers directly. And then I have links to like all the best offers below that you can check out too. But yeah, if Chase and Amex offer me $500K a year, I don't know if that's not worth my integrity. I just love talking about this stuff. So if I was ever like told what I can and can't say about a card, I would lose it. It just wouldn't even be worth making videos anymore. I'm just a walking billboard at that point. Matt saying I have to go watch the Blue Jays take on the Mariners. We'll watch the rest of the recording later, but thanks for the great updates as always. Love this community. That's awesome. Yeah, go support your boys. Are there any good strategies for paying off large tax payments each year for large credit card bonuses? Or are there tax payment credit card fees that make that not an option? Oof, you must not have been here last tax season. So you will have to pay a fee by putting tax payments on your credit cards, but the strategy is still there. Like you mentioned, where if there's a large minimum spending requirement, like the Amex Business Platinum, you're going to get 300K points on the Business Platinum for 20K spend. You put your big tax bill on it to hit the offer. You pay a 3% fee. If you're even that 3% fee that you're paying is going to be way more than wiped by the welcome offer you're getting. Normally for everyday spend, I wouldn't recommend you do that. But for welcome offers, sometimes paying that fee makes sense if it allows you to hit the minimum spending requirement. You just got to run the math. But yeah, there's no way to pay it tax-free with a credit card or fee-free with a credit card, from my understanding. But the math could still work in your favor. Ken saying F1 race in Austin this weekend. Yep, there is one, and I will be around. I will be at F1 this weekend. I'm not exactly sure what days yet because I'm kind of bumming off one of my buddies that has an extra ticket. So yeah, but I'll be around. Micah saying I've been considering a Capital One Venture X card combo to complement. I've been considering a Capital One Venture X card combo to complement my Freedom Unlimited and Sapphire Preferred. But the lack of 3 to 5x gas and domestic airlines is holding me back. City cards looking nice. Yeah, the city cards are great for that purpose. 3x to 5x on all those purchases you mentioned. Yeah, out of the cards you already have and no offers associated that you are going for currently, you're going to be kind of strapped to find value from those categories unless you go the city route. Obviously, you could get the Saver card with the Venture X, and that would help you out with groceries and dining. Well, you already have dining covered, but that's about it, I guess. And then you could get the PayPal debit for 5% back on one of those as well for cashback purpose. But whether or not you want cashback is up to you. Isaiah asking about my investing journey. It's been great, actually. I just rebalanced my portfolio and my girlfriend's portfolio like this week. So funny you ask about it now. But yeah, I got everything set up again, maxed out my Roth for another year, all that jazz. So it's been good. I really enjoy learning about the investing, but I'm really just like a index fee kind of just whale in a sense, where I just put my money into a couple of no fee index funds with Fidelity. One for total market and one for international, and then kind of just let it ride until I retire, so that's the goal right now, but not financial advice. Mikey, would you share a bit about how you got your Ritz card? and it's 85,000 point free night before paying the annual fee. Should I upgrade at the end of my second year of my Boundless card? So yeah, I made a post about this, which you can read. That's where the details are kind of related to this. But basically what happened with my situation, I can go ahead and pull up the post just so you guys have something to look at besides my pretty face. At least that's what my mom says about it. Let's see. So right here is the post he was talking about. Basically, you can see here that I got an 85,000 point award assigned to my Marriott account. And I wasn't expecting that. I should have got another 35,000 point free night from my Boundless, but I guess I upgraded right before my card anniversary, my second anniversary with the Boundless, and I got the 85,000 point free night. So don't get it twisted. You can't do this after just 1 year or before your 1 year anniversary with the Boundless. I held my card for a full year and then almost a full second year, and then did the product change, and I got the upgrade. So yeah, that's how it worked for me. So your question, should I upgrade at the end of my second year of my Boundless card? First year, second year. That's what happened with me, and it worked. But the downside to doing that is that if you're basically either weighing that 85K point free night and the Ritz card versus getting the Brilliant card first. Because if you get the Ritz card, you're ineligible for the Brilliant card. So you've already waited 2 years since you got the Boundless on the Chase's side to unlock the ability to get a welcome offer on the Amex Marriott cards. And then, if you upgrade before that clock ends, like the month before, well, now you kind of wait, you didn't waste that time, but you technically miss out on that Marriott Brilliant welcome offer. So there's a couple of strategies going on there. If that was confusing, let me know. But yeah. Shelton saying, thanks for answering my tax question. My wife and I dug ourselves out of all of our debt this year. So now I'm using credit cards correctly and strategically. I appreciate you and everything you share. That's so awesome. Congrats to y'all. That's a huge deal. Getting yourself out of that debt. Wow. Yeah. Now, obviously, keep it on the straight and narrow with the credit cards. It's a dangerous, slippery slope. So don't, make sure you always have your credit card set up for auto pay for your statement balance specifically. And if you do that, you'll never pay any interest and you'll never miss a payment. So that's the way to do it. Timothy asking, does it seem odd that Chase continues to get so much hype for transfer partners? In reality, just Hyatt, but with them losing Emirates, they basically have the lowest total number of partners. I would say no, because you kind of are glazing over the fact that they just have, they just have Hyatt. That's a really big deal for a lot of people. So you'll see in my video coming out next week at some point. Make sure you're subscribed and notifications on in case things get delayed at all, because it's another big video. The difference between all of these lenders is not how many partners they have, it's which unique partners do they have, right? So with Chase, the only person that has access to Hyatt, to Southwest, to United, besides Chase, is Bilt. Bilt's card, Bilt only has one card right now, no welcome offer, harder to earn with. So really, you're left with Chase to get all of your Hyatt, Southwest, and United points, as long as you don't get their cards respectively. So it's like that is such a unique partnership that it is really powerful. And that's why you can still say that Chase's partners are amazing. If you go to Capital One or Citi on the hotel side, you're not going to have that kind of, standout partner besides now Citi with I Prefer, but that's a really small portfolio. Even with Amex, transferring at a 1-2 rate with Hilton is solid, but it's not going to give you the same value as as Hyatt would with Chase. So there's the balance between wanting the most transfer partner access possible in a list from a lender you have cards from versus having really stand out, quality few transfer partners or one transfer partner like that. It all comes down to travel preferences basically. So I see where you're coming from though. But I don't think people necessarily love Chase for the breadth of coverage they have. It's more for the specific partners. Student loans. Did you ever use Capital One's virtual card number? It's been a big reason why I wanted to get into Capital One space. No, I've never I've never touched on that. Mike saying it's annoying reading email blasts that won't mention the card by name. Well, I just explained to you why. Everybody does that. Luckily, you have a finger and can click a link to see the name. But yeah, no, it's really annoying for us too, because it's literally just compliance. It's Chase and Amex and all these companies saying you can't mention us by name if you want to link to our cards. So, but yeah, you can always unsubscribe. Demon Master, do you think that the Amex Blue Cash Everyday bundled with the Sapphire Preferred and Freedom Unlimited covers every big spinning category? For the most part, you have good coverage there. The problem is that the Blue Cash Everyday is a cashback card, right? So if you want transfer partner access and transferable points, you're going to need more Chase cards or Amex membership rewards points, for example. But yeah, just straight category coverage is pretty solid. Neely said my YouTube was down for like 20 minutes, so that's cool. That's really weird. Steven saying, any news on a Hyatt Premium card? I feel like there's been no new news since they sent out that survey a while back. Yeah, that was like 2 years ago, I think, at this point. And no, there's been no update on that card. Of course. Of course, there hasn't been. Oh, Owen said his was down for a while too. What the heck? I picked a bad time to stream. I'm kidding. We're here every Wednesday usually. QC saying, still having Hyatt, United, and Southwest, especially for normies who don't know about transferring to Alliance partners, etc., is definitely still a big friggin' deal for Chase. Yeah, it is. That's exactly my take on it too. I think so many of us in this space are like so hyper analytical of these companies, and people hate that I like Chase and say all these things, and it's just you're coming at it from a perspective of somebody that's obsessed with the credit card game. If you think about the general credit card user, like the people that I talk to in my everyday life that want credit cards, they don't want anything but Chase cards because that's who they bank with. They have the transfer partners that they need access to. That's all they need. They're done. So yeah, it's all about perspective, right? Owen saying, got denied for Costco card and City Custom Cash, trying to find a gas card. Went with Wells Fargo Autograph and got approved. Also been pre-approved for every Amex card publicly available. I don't know why no approval with Citi. Yeah, we talked about this earlier. Citi's been real strict with the applications lately, it seems. So yeah, even like, and especially if you have like multiple hard inquiries recently, they're definitely going to deny you. I guess you got the Wells Fargo Autograph to cover gas. That'll give you 3x back, but also remember that you could just get the PayPal debit for gas. Just make sure if you did that, if you selected gas as your category to get 5% back in, that you have at least $100 in your PayPal balance at all times. That way, if you have any like holds on the funds that gas pumps put on your cards, you won't have any issues. Digital Jazz, thinking about downgrading my Sapphire Reserve, but I already hold the Freedom Unlimited. Is it worth to cancel completely instead of downgrading? Sapphire Reserve is $24,000 limit and Freedom is $34,000. That's some big limits. Well, first of all, if you're going to downgrade the reserve and you don't have another Sapphire card, just realize that you're not going to have any transfer partner access, which is not great. So you could apply fresh for the Sapphire Preferred to have that access again, or the Chase Ink Preferred. But if I was you, it's hard to say, like just based on this, if you should cancel it or not. It's worth considering. But you could also just downgrade it to like the OG Chase Freedom, which we talked about in, I think, this week's video, right? Yeah, the ranking video. That one won't take up any welcome offer slot. And it gives you 5x rotating quarterly categories. So I'd probably opt to do that and then apply fresh for like the Sapphire Preferred, but it's up to you. Farley saying, yeah, my YouTube was down as well. How annoying is that? Byron saying, thank you. You were one of the first I started watching and learned so much. Now I have a bunch of credit cards and a lot of points. That's awesome. Thank you for the support. Yeah, QC, we're on the same page here. Downgrade to a OG Freedom. Harry asking if I think they'll nerf or remove the Ritz card in the future. Yeah, probably. I think every card, eventually gets nerfed. But I'm going to use it as much as I can for now. And I don't have any kind of like timeline on when that might happen, but there's been a lot of rumors about it this year and none of the rumors held up. I still have the card. Nothing's wrong with it. You can still product change to it. So Probably a lot of just rumors. Let's make sure there wasn't any other offers on here I wanted to show y'all real quick. Talked about the performance business. We talked about all these airline cards at this point. The Delta cards all have limited time offers. British Airways, Aeroplan, Southwest Performance Business is a big one for you Southwest flyers with the companion pass in one go. All the Hilton cards have elevated offers that end in January, so no real rush on these. We'll probably mention them next month too in a live like this. Marriott cards all have solid offers, but not really worth chasing in my opinion just yet, since we've seen such higher ones in the past. Granted, they're for higher spend, but at least for the boundless, but still. These are the two we haven't mentioned yet, or the three, are the IHG card offers right now. So these end in about a week as well. The Premier gives you 165,000 points after 3K spend in 3 months. So that's pretty solid. You can see that in January we had 170K for 4K spend in 3 months. So basically, I hope I didn't type that in wrong. Let me check, make sure the IHG Premier is what I just said it is. I assume they were the same welcome offer spending requirement, but maybe I'm wrong. No, it is right. Yeah, it's 300 or 3,000 worth of spend. So that's good to know. Where are we at here? Goodness, I've opened so many tabs. Okay, so Premier, yeah, we had a higher offer just recently. I thought it was even more recent than this, but that was for $4,000 worth of spend. So this one's better return on spend wise. But there was a 5 free night award worth up to 300,000 points more recently. So that's the one hopefully you all got. This one still isn't bad, but 5 free nights worth up to 300K is obviously better. The Traveler has a really solid offer as the no annual fee option. 2 free nights worth up to 50,000 points each, plus 40,000 points after $2,000 worth of spend in 3 months. Ends on the same, the 23rd of this month. Like I said, great for no annual fee, but you could only have one of the personal IHG cards, so most people opt to do the Premier instead for the better long-term value. Premier Business also has an elevated offer up to 200K, split into 140K after 4K spend, and then 60K after 9K spend total. So I don't know. This one was kind of interesting to me because I don't like have another one that I really want to get anytime soon. So I was kind of considering maybe just like extending it all the way to that 200K point offer and just use it for up to $9,000 worth of spend in the next 6 months. But I don't know. That could be one to consider for me. What do y'all think about these IHG ones? Talk about all these up here. Sea Strata Elite we covered. The Capital One cards are the only ones we haven't mentioned that I have on my list. The Saver card, the Venture One, and the Quicksilver all still have 20,000 points plus a $100 travel credit for $500 spent in 3 months. So solid offer there. Basically the base, but with an extra $100 for those of y'all that want to use the travel portal. And then the Spark Cash Select, which is a business card that will report Tier 524. So it's not really one I recommend much. Has a $750 offer after $6,000 worth of spend in 3 months. So also solid. Yeah, that was all the cards that I wanted to talk about. So any final thoughts here as we wrap up today? Ryan asking, do I think in theory the PayPal debit is better than the custom cash? Yes and no. I think it's better in the sense that it has a higher spending cap, great category coverage too, less category coverage, but still really solid. And it's 5% back. So it's better cap wise than the custom cash, but the custom cash earns thank you points that can be combined with the Strata Premier or Elite to transfer out to partners. So that 5x back could be worth, 10%, cash back effectively if used for travel. But for somebody just looking for cash back, the PayPal debit is better in a lot of ways. Oh, Carmela joining in. Evening to you too. Good evening. I guess unfortunately we're about to head out somewhat soon, but I'm glad to have you on for a bit. QC Man, did I even activate my Ritz Priority Pass since I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve? No. I haven't even opened it. right here. Yeah, since I have my reserve and I get 2 guests with that one, I have no need to have the Ritz priority pass access. So I also have a priority pass with the Venture X. So got a lot going on, but yeah, no, I haven't activated it. PUJ question mark. Digital Jazz, that stands for pop-up jail, if that's what you were asking. Neely said, I'm hoping for that 5 free night welcome offer with the Boundless at some point. Going to start planning a trip next year for when my wife passes the bar. Wow. I love putting that out into the world. She's passing it. No problem. But yeah, the Boundless can be great for a trip like that, where you just like 5 really, really great free nights. That'd be really cool. You can also top those up, top those off up to 15,000 points per night. There we go. Got it out. Digital Jazz. If I cancel the Sapphire Reserve and then apply fresh for the... I'm assuming that was supposed to say Chase Sapphire Preferred. Will I qualify for the welcome offer, or how did they change their welcome offer strategy? So yeah, now effectively you're able to get the welcome offer on the Sapphire Preferred and Reserve respectively, separately, I guess. So, but if you've ever held either one of them, then you can't get a welcome offer on it, or you may not be able to. So it's kind of like up to them whether or not they'll give it to you, but you can technically apply for both separately and get 2 welcome offers. It's just whether or not they'll allow you to do that. That's the question. Neely saying clip that. Dude, somebody who clipped that, the one from last week. That was so funny. Was it Tyler? Who did that? Let's see if I can find it. I can't find it. Somebody clipped the last stream up a little bit. QC, am I getting drunk off the root beer? I might be, dude. I don't know what's going on. Y'all know that it's like, once we hit about 7:30 my time, an hour and a half in, I start losing it. Yeah, Dem, don't depress me like this. Under 25 likes is crazy. It's criminal. The IHG seems decent if you don't have any other cards on your roadmap. Yeah. The other 2 cards I mentioned that I might consider, or there's 3, would be the Hilton Business. Same idea as the IHG Business, just stashing points. Which I don't really recommend you do, but I could do it. IHG Business. Hilton Business. Chasing Cash. I could try to go for the Chasing Cash, even though I just canceled 2 chase cards recently. It's possible. I don't know if y'all would do that if you were me. And what was the last one? One of my members reminded me. I already forgot, which is probably not a good sign. Oh, it was the Marriott Business, which I'm not going to go for. That is just a bad offer. How soon after getting an ink card is it safe to get a Chase personal card? That's another one of those questions that's kind of like impossible to answer, I guess, just because everybody's profile is so different. Your velocity in general is different. You can only, we talked about earlier how you can only apply for 2 Chase cards, or 1 Chase card every 30 days, basically. So I would wait at least a month, and then after that, it's kind of like, if you really need it, if you really need that personal card, maybe just do it after the month. But I would usually space my applications out by about 3. I got denied recently for a Chase card because I had open day business card with them like a couple months back. That was one of the reasons. So they obviously care a little bit about that. Ryan, do I think there'll be an elevated sub to the Strata Premiere soon? I would hope so. We haven't seen one in a bit, but I'm sure they're just keeping all the focus on the Strata Elite for now. Isaiah, good night to you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we got a lot of offers going on. I think I listed in this video alone like 30 to 40 over the course of this. So yeah, thank you for being here. Ryan, yes, you can hold both the Sapphire Reserve and Preferred, technically, by their rules, but it's up to them, up to Chase as to whether or not they'll actually let you. QC Man asking, do I have any Sapphire Reserve bookings for the edit ready to go once 1026 comes? Oh, is that when they're releasing the 1026? Is that whenever they release the little credit thing? Oh, no, sorry. That's whenever I'm going to get the new benefits. You're smart. I already forgot about that. It's only 11 days out. I don't have anything lined up yet, actually. I have no travel booked for 2026 yet, so that's probably going to be where, I look first, is through the edit collection and all that. Use up my Chase Sapphire Reserve credits, but nothing yet. Student loans. Should you pick a hotel credit card, then book the hotel around the card? Or should you book your travel and get the hotel card that may match your budget? If you're talking about booking on points specifically, I would obviously, I guess, try to work backwards. So plan the trip. Don't book it yet. Well, depending on how long you're looking out in advance, you could plan the trip, say 6 months out. Once you figure out what hotel you're staying at, go get the card that will give you the welcome offer points to book that specific hotel, or at least cover part of it. That's one strategy, what I normally recommend people do. But if you're saying like just going to get a hotel card for spending on, then that would be more up to your, I guess more like your budget, like you're talking about, but really just about like what benefits you need access to and what your effective annual fees are. Oh, James bringing in. Oh, look at that. He's calling him. James is calling him. Oh, James, also welcome in. I'm sorry that you're the one that's going to have to call the end of this, but. People want to see you. The people want to see you. Come on, buddy. Oh, goodness. Look at this guy, everybody. He got to spend the day at work with my girlfriend today. He met a couple other dogs. Oh, come here. Come on. Up. And he had a lot of fun. One of them was a lab, a brown chocolate lab, and the other one was a little French bulldog who he did not like, apparently. Odin does not like whenever dogs hump each other, and that little French bulldog was humping another dog, and he does not like that. But yeah, I'm glad I got to show him for a second. He seems very tired. He won't even come up on the chair, but he is the best boy in the world. I agree. Hopefully y'all learned something tonight. I, really enjoyed getting to do this. I know we had a good amount of super chats earlier on. We had QC Man with a $2 super chat. Kane gifted a membership. We had $10 from Xavier as well. Just really nice of y'all to do this. I say this in the pinned comment every week on one of these, but just like the fact that y'all are here to support me, just viewing means a ton. And the fact that we have members that are financially supporting as well and feeding Odin, that really is kind of mind blowing to me. So thank y'all for all the support. And I'm excited to chat with y'all again soon. We've got another video coming out next week. Be subscribed, get the notifications on. And then I might be a guest appearer on a live on a different channel next week instead of my own. So get ready for that. But I won't say any more than this. But yeah, as always, really appreciate you guys watching. I hope that I get to see you again very soon. And yeah, Odin and I will catch you guys next time.